Data can be valuable to enhance robot performance, but not all data is created equal. Viam can parse data for ML on low-power devices or for reducing data costs related to ML by filtering out unnecessary data. In this video, we'll walk you through how to easily add components within Viam's interface. We'll also go through how to add in services such as machine learning using Viam's modular registry. And we'll walk you through how to selectively capture data and store it within the cloud. Now, let's dive into the demo.
We're looking at the Viam console web application app.viam.com, as you can see up here. And Viam gives you a way to structure your hopefully many robots easily into locations or organizations. And in each organization, you can have multiple locations, which we see here. And then we're in my base location. We can see all the different robots here. If you have a new robot, you can easily go here and add a new robot. And you get all the required instructions to install Viam onto your particular hardware, onto your board. Different Linux and processor architectures, or even Mac, which is quite handy. Many people use Macintosh to develop software. We don't want to go through all of that process. I'm going to delete this robot again, and we're going to use my Turtlebot, which is right next to me in the corner down there. Looks like it's alive. And I've done some preparation work already. I've installed our ROS integration, which we can find here under modules. And I've added a bunch of components, the base, the IMU, and a camera, kind of the basic things which are required for a robot to work. We can then look at the robots, and we should then be able to see a little bit into my office here. And what we're going to do now is we're going to add some cool components. And I've drawn a little architecture here. We have the ROS camera configured already. And what I want to do overall is basically add a machine learning model, which will identify certain behavior. And I'm going to use a color detector model, just because it's a simple one. And then we're going to use that image filter camera here to record only the images which have actually that particular color on it. So we can do selective data recording and selective data uploading into the cloud. Because as you can imagine, if somebody or something, the robot drives around, sees a lot of things, but not that many interesting things, you don't necessarily want to upload the whole video stream. That's very expensive, and it's not very efficient either. And so we're going to start with configuring a color detector, just a simple ML model we can add to our robot. And this color detector is placed under services. So we can go here, look for color, choose the color detector model, give it a name. Then configure the module. My physics book is red. I'm going to go for red. I'm going to make sure that it is pretty accurate with predicting the model. And I'm going to say that the box needs to be roughly 1,000 pixels to be identified as a meaningful color. I'm going to save this component, and I can then just go and visualize my component. So what I've done is basically I've created this color detector. And now, so we actually can verify it, I'm just going to add this camera here. You can create such a new transform camera very easily as well. Transform, I'm going to create this here. We should find it down here. We want the camera picture, which is basically the configuration for the detector. So it's a detector model, uses the color detector, and it only reacts when the confidence threshold is above 0.8 or 80%. I can then go and save this pipeline here as well. Looks promising. If I go into the control panel, we can see that I have my camera, the one from before, but I do also have my transform camera, and there's no red stuff. So if I'm going to put my book, physics book, in here, you can see it has detected my physics book. And that allows us now to go to the next step, which is basically configure this image filter camera. And this image filter camera is a custom camera. It's a module we've written, and upload it into the Viam registry. And that's a very cool feature, because if we look at it, we can find it here. So it's custom code directly accessible through the Viam UI, through the menu. If you want to go and have a look at the registry entry, we can see it here. With the different versions you can choose. And you also have a GitHub link. Maybe you want to contribute and add functionality, fix a bug, things like that. That's very cool, because we can then easily create that community feeling, and people can build their stuff, share their stuff with other people. And it's just going to be so much easier to build robots in the future. So we're going to add that module. I'm going to add the actual camera component. Going down to the image filter, and then I have to add a little bit of configuration to my image filter as well. Can then save it. And I have to do one little thing. We have to go to the image filter, and I have to add my camera here as a dependency, and I have to add my color detector as a dependency as well. Okay. Let's go back. We see the color detectors here, the cameras here. And as we can see on the architecture picture here, we have the camera image and the color detector. The camera image filter coordinates things, takes the picture, hands it over to the color detector, and then tries to upload it. So what do we need to do to upload data? Very simple process as well within Viam. Under services, you can find the data management service, which allows you to capture data locally on the robot. Sometimes you don't necessarily want to stream things up into the cloud. But if you want it up in the cloud, then you can just enable this switch here as well. And you can add any tag here to tag your data, which makes it easier to find it in our data console. So if we have a look at the data management console, we can go here. We see we can have images, random files. I'm going to show you that at the very end. Point clouds, any sort of sensor data. So it's very empty. I just cleaned it up before I started the demo. Then, I mean, this is the general switches to enable or disable data recording. And then you can actually go on each component which supports that functionality to upload data. We're going to my image filter component. I'm going to add that I want to store images every second as JPEG. And I'm going to turn it on. It's turned on by default. I'm going to save that configuration. We can then go here into the camera. See, we have another camera, my image filter seems to be running. Recording is enabled. So now if I go and put my book in front of my camera, we should be able to see the images which have my physics book on it. And here we go. Pretty cool. And imagine it doesn't have to be color, right? The color is just a simple, silly thing. You can do facial recognition. You can use these images and go and train a model, add your tags, put your bounding boxes, etc. But you also have the option to upload your own model here. So I have one here which identifies if I'm on holidays or not. And this one here, you would then bring your own TF flight model, which you've, I don't know, gotten somewhere, trained somewhere else, etc. We can do both.